So coming up next, we have our next pool. So again, HINTZ, Kitsunny, NoBarBen, and PolloX, and it looks like NoBarBen's up. So the songs they're going to play are Horatio Expert. Apparently he's a 14. I'm used to it being a 15 on singles. Sakura Mirage Expert 14 and Teleporation Expert 15.
Yeah, 2 old songs and a new song. This group immediately belying my claim that of course they'll give themselves a 13 because they know it's good for them.
Yeah.
NoBarBen, a fan favorite like we said, back in his days of being MF35892. Yeah, not only sort of one of the most famous NoBar players, or the most famous NoBar player, at least in North America, he's developed a pretty unique form that people like watching where he leans way over to keep up his foot speed. And somehow the results are always just bonkers.
He's so fun to watch play NoBar. Number one, it's fun watching him play NoBar, but it's even more fun watching him play NoBar on doubles, just because it requires such a different center of gravity with going back and forth between the pads.
Horatio EDP has fewer drills than ESP according to chat.
Yeah.
Makes sense. That's why we have, that's why it's a 14. And yeah, so, you know, NoBar singles, we were talking about like sort of leaning forward to keep your center of gravity stable and low, but having to just accelerate it, left stop, back to the right stop over and over and over and over is a huge amount of energy.
Yes.
And Ben is literally a marathon runner.
All right, let's get to the action here. Cool. Great MA by Ben out of the gates.
No problem with timing. Completely comfortable moving back and forth on these crossovers, just as you'd expect. Ben, another player like June, who is at the top single player levels, even against a field like this. Watching his form on the crossovers is great. His pad awareness is totally confident where he is. Even as he kind of just walks back and forth like this. Probably very used to feeling the edge of the arrow each time he moves back and forth, just to keep track of and adjust where he is.
Very well done by Ben. I think it was 1 or 2 grades? 4 grades.
4, so about a minus 45. You know, definitely beatable, but definitely tough. Going into a much faster song, Sakura Mirage. Mirage or Reflection?
Sakura Mirage.
Mirage, yeah.
Like, which Sakura song is it?
Sometimes NoBar feels right when you're just learning doubles patterns. Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for practicing the NoBar because it does a lot for your reading and your crossover form and balance.
Yeah.
But still a far cry from playing it at that level. So yeah, I think I was saying going from that into a much higher BPM song. Single is characterized by jacks and step jumps. Really strange chart with 16th gallops that you have to foot switch onto, which is something that you generally see a bit less in a lot of doubles charts. They're often charted friendlier to flowing if you keep alternating feet and play the tech as intended. Also worth noting that as a no-bar player, he is just inevitably using a low read speed, and it does not hold up his timing at all.
Yeah, generally if you're playing no-bar, you're going to play at a lower speed mod than you would with a bar just because of reaction time and everything like that, but he's well integrated with it.
This sort of MA on gallops is extremely hard.
Doing very well so far. So he has the PFC halfway through.
Fine on the quick little eighth note jump moving across the pad. Up back and forth on the crossovers really well.
So that's the PFC going. And gets it.
You cheer from the crowd again. PFC on a 14. Still have not had too many of them so far today.
Yeah.
And yeah, he is going to be an intimidating person for this whole pool for sure.
He took the Osaka area record there, too.
Third song was, yeah, Teleportation.
Yes. So new A3 song. The singles chart's really straightforward. I don't know what the challenge chart's like. They're both 15s. Like Ben has a play on this.
And a pretty strong one.
Yeah.
Osaka be like, what are all these Americans doing to our records? Kind of an A3 story in general. This song throws at us. Pretty ordinary eighth notes back and forth across the pads. At 170. Ooh, a miss there. I think that little 16th note triplet stuck in there. But hopefully that doesn't phase him. Based on the pacemaker, it hasn't really. He's staying pretty close to a PB that was a high AAA. And the MA just looks strong watching it again. The chart never has any teleportation. It never makes you teleport from P1 to P2. Honestly, doubles would be a lot cooler if each player was given like 3 blinks back and forth across the pads every song. Yeah, he's doing just fine on relatively vanilla 8th note patterns, but some 16ths have been stuck in there, and he's handled them save for 1 miss. Cool crossed over.
Very well done on those crossovers.
It looks like it's giving you that 5-note crossover in kind of every possible direction.
Yeah, those like backwards crossovers. Very well done
PFC
by
with
Ben.
1 miss?
Yeah, he had the 1 miss there early, but I think PFC'd everything else otherwise. 29 perfects. Wow.
So this pool also opening with a really tough act to follow. We see Mia going up next.
Yep.
I do not know a lot about her playing doubles. Of course, people may have seen her playing singles on this cab yesterday, coming in second in women's. Let's see if she can get herself sort of quickly warmed up and going that well today. Hi, Mia from chat. Yeah, we had a lot of chants of Go Philly for her in chat yesterday. Team Wawa Venus in Champions League. Also often around to cheer her on. Ben, you did great. Ben did do great. Those were really impressive.
Ben set the bar pretty high to start out this pool, so.
Yeah, it is hard to know what to expect from other players because we've definitely been surprised before after Andrew opened that last pool and then people still beat him. Great MA to start. This is a song where, right, Ben was at around -40 or so.
I think in terms of like total minus EX, this was his worst song, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
Mia's picked up a few perfects there, one great, but strong start so far, so it could actually go either way here, I think. Mostly just 8th note jacks and crossover patterns so far. There's a little bit of the Horatio drilliness later in the song, but nothing like the singles chart. On the up-down drills, and on this drill too.
Right.
Ending drills like that is a place where you can pick up a lot of points. It's going to be in second on the song.
Yep. So, very well done by Mia there.
Choosing to go into teleportation before Sakura Mirage. What did we say this song was? There were a bunch of crossovers in various directions and 5-note crossover runs where you sort of have to stay there for 2 or 3 notes.
Yeah, some of those like backwards crossover runs. Very well so far here. The tricky part's kind of in the second half of the song from my recollection on it.
Yeah, the part with the more crossovers that we were talking about I think is coming up soon, but keeping combo, keeping good NA, yeah, because this is where there are going to be 4 crossover runs in every direction coming up. And also just way busier than the first half like a lot of songs are. Tight NA on it though. One of them is hard. $13-15 going to be second place on this song again. And yeah, Sakura Mirage. The highest tempo of the 3 songs here could definitely be a reason to want to put it third.
Show me what you got.
So the main thing here is she has handled the songs really well so far, but it is very hard to keep up with the sort of MA that Ben had throughout his whole set. It's going to be hard for anyone to keep up with. Still comboing, still showing the kind of thing that's going to be a high machine score and overall a great play. Really nice runs on those crossovers. Yeah, in truth, these have been great song plays, including this one. It's just very, very tough coming after watching Ben to have that context for the scores.
When Ben kind of sets the bar that high as the first person, it gets a little intimidating for anyone.
It's a little hard not to keep talking about it. Ben does set the bar. He still does. Yeah, keeping combo going and keeping a lot of good MA at parts, but so hard to just keep up the total consistency on timing that we've seen from some of the players today.
Still very well good set by Mia. I've seen everything there too.
True, yeah.
That's it. See you next
All right,
time on the
coming
dance
up
floor.
will be either HINTZ or Pollo.
It looks like HINTZ is coming up.
So yeah, the scores to beat are going to be from Ben so far. On Horatio, that will be 1230, which was around in the minus 45 or so territory. Also, chat pointing out that Sakura Mirage has the most weird patterns to try to play as your first song.
Yep.
Compared to what we saw in Horatio and Teleportation. Nightmare warm-up, yeah, this one's tough. We have had some way easier ones as your first song earlier today. Although I didn't remember now what else the players voted off in lieu of these 3. Clock score here is a 31 PFC, so definitely someone that we're looking to potentially challenge Ben on that 1230 EX. Yeah, this song overall not only is the friendliest on your legs, but it ramps up a little bit from the beginning of the song, which helps you a lot. Totally clean start.
Oh, unfortunately got, I don't know, legs twisted up or whatnot.
Yeah, there had been about one perfect in the opening 8th note run.
Yeah.
And then a miss that came with a perfect or 2, but the important thing is getting himself back together after it. It looks like maybe now just 1 or 2 perfects after that last rest. Very, very clean getting back to it now.
I was gonna say, HINTZ is doing very well after that miss part there at the beginning. beginning.
The slightly harder parts of the song coming up, including the parts that have some drilliness to them. Nicely handled on the center drill. Yeah, overall very strong MA after one mistake at the start, so it'll be hard to see where the scores line up. Nice on the up-down drill. Here's the one on the other side. Again, corrects after just a few perfects, which can be difficult. Nearly MFC's the final drill, I think.
Yep.
Just barely in second place behind Ben.
So I think there's possibly some kind of caster thing.
Yeah, it looks like HINTZ is talking to the TOs now about the pad moving a bit.
Yeah, I'm guessing there's something with like a caster or something. I don't know if it came loose or what's going on, but it looks like they're looking at it now.
Yeah, I saw chat comment too that it was visible on stream.
Yeah, on the player cam.
Maybe pads were oscillating left-right a little more, which is sort of a risk during doubles with the amount that you're throwing your own weight back and forth. Rana's testing them out now right in front of us. Maybe just have to go down there and make sure all the wheels are locked.
I guess every corner you've got to check.
All right, looks fixed now. And HINTZ will be coming back on for, no, it just dislodged again. All right, they're gonna keep working on that. Yeah, it's definitely important to fix now as soon as it was noticeable. I don't know exactly what is underneath the pads. I only really looked at Stepmaniac's pads that have the wheel with that huge
the
rubber
lockers,
foot that screws down and locks down.
Those things are very, very nice too. So with the DDR pads, there are casters that are under it, and sometimes they can come loose and it causes pads to wobble. I don't know if that's the situation here. It looks like they were looking at those corners for it.
Looks like HINTZ says okay after Rana tests those once more. So hopefully moving into our second song here.
Music
He is choosing to go for Sakura Mirage second, opposite of Mia. The score to beat on this is going to be NoBarBen's 1429. I will actually try to remember the number. Read speed at, I think it's 2.25. So that's going to be a little over 400.
second stage.
I think I saw the score he has recorded on this as a flag, so potentially a pretty strong play. As we discussed before with the earlier players, it is the fastest song in the set and has some of the most intense patterns. Really nice start. Getting some nice MA on some of the jacks, as well as the eighth note crossovers. A lot of fast back and forth crossovers here, yeah. One miss creeps in, but overall really nice handling of the patterns. one miss on a gallop as well. It was called out earlier that some of those gallops you have to switch between them. Just a lot of very fast back and forth movement on sort of crossovers that would be like single crossovers as well as ones across the middle.
It's certainly not easy, and like you said, at that speed, it makes it much more tricky.
But now settled back into good timing. A break can help with that after a section where it's just been continuously hard and a mistake like a miss has crept in. Comboing very nicely for the last while here. Now that it's been called out, we can definitely see the point about how much more taxing the patterns in this chart are.
Yeah. I don't blame people for not starting out with Sakura Mirage as the first song.
1315 EX is going to be second place in the pool so far. Still behind NoBarBen.
We have Teleportation for the final song here for HINTZ.
Looks like 2.25 again, so playing at around that similar 400 BPM-ish tempo. We've seen pretty much the whole gamut of read speeds so far. No, going higher, closer to 500.
And especially if you're sight reading it, which it looks like HINTZ is probably doing, you usually want to use a lower speed mod just in case, so you can react more if you don't know what patterns are coming up, especially on doubles.
Especially double, where you have to shift your weight more based on what you're reading. You know, in single player, an unexpected jump or something can cause a miss. But in double, if you're not planning ahead, whether you're bringing your whole body across the pad or just kind of reaching out for one step or crossover, you can wind up moving to the completely wrong place. It is a really cool song in both single and double. Hopefully people aren't scared off of it. Clean start. He was emulating very well overall in Sakura Mirage. Mostly just some trouble creeping in on the most intense crossover patterns. And there are some things like that here. We talked about those 5-note ones where we have to go across the middle earlier. But on these triplets with somewhat vanilla double patterns, he negotiates them really well. That's true. If you're sight reading a double chart, sometimes the worst part is the first note if you're at any kind of reasonable read speed.
Usually default to those middle two arrows, but yeah, it's kind of hard knowing which side it's going to start on.
Nice MA here so far. The score to beat is 13.87 from NoBarBen.
Yeah, it's been doing pretty well on this chart so far. The tricky part's coming up here, though.
Pretty much right here.
Doing very well. It hit those reverse crossovers pretty well.
Yeah, the crossovers we've talked about, as well as a couple other 5-note 16 patterns with movement in them, but handles those very nicely as well.
Very well done by him.
Clean ending. Yeah, close to Ben's score, but still second place.
Yeah, one great though. Flagged it's very strong.
So the last player in this pool is going to be Pollo, and the player to beat is still NoBarBen. And there's probably a card draw going on soon or now for the next pool. They've really been cranking through these.
Oh, yeah. Looking at the pool schedule, everything on doubles has been running like 100% on time, which is always impressive. I think even with the pad check there, we didn't lose too much time at all with that. So
yeah, we've gotten through, what, 5 pools, and there are 8, so pretty good. Okay, pretty strong Gessie starting with Horatio. Yep, just like the other players. Some exciting pump happening next to us, speaking of that.
We have Grant and June going up right now, so.
So his Horatio score looks like 14 perfects. So let's see, if he's having a good day, absolutely someone with potential to take this one off of Ben.
Yeah, Pollo is a really good single player. I don't know how good he is at doubles, but I mean, just looking at some of these scores he's got, he's good. Oh, well, that would explain that.
Well, let's find out how his score is then.
I was like, man, 14's really good. And oh, that's why.
Okay, so Horatio 14 has very close, very strong scores from both NoBarBen and HINTZ. And in this event, taking second is also important in addition to taking first, because ranking well in your group can still have you move on to the top 12. He is checking the motion of the pads, but seems totally satisfied with it. Starts out with great timing. I missed checking what his recorded score was.
It was like a 987, but
okay.
based on how he's scoring on this right now, he's probably going to go low past it, so I wouldn't pay too close attention to it.
Yeah, you see a lot of that in doubles, which people aren't just necessarily practicing as much.
Boy's doing very well so far. Picked up the grade, obviously, but MA is looking pretty crisp.
Yeah, pretty confident ending the 5-note drill with no perfects, going right back into 8th-note patterns after it. Drifts just a little. Let's see if he can just fix that during the break. Looks like maybe yes. Only a couple perfects in the center drill. The most drilly patterns at the end, left side, right side, and then the left right rushes that one a bit. So hard to avoid on drills, but quite nice on the last one. Not enough to take that off of the likes of NoBarBen, but still a very strong play.
He was doing very well and then pick up a lot of fast there kind of at the end. Actually, I wonder if he, that could just be the song syncing.
It's
I was
also,
gonna say, like, you could adjust either visual offset for something like that, but it's also Horatio's syncing's kind of whack, so.
drills are just kind of rough that way, because you can be a little faster, a little slow, and in some weird way, it's way harder to tell which one it is as you're doing it. Seen a mix of song order here. He's going for teleportation second, because probably a bit less taxing on the legs and warm-up than Sakura Mirage.
Kind of interesting, like half the players here have decided to do Sakura Mirage as the last song. But again, like we mentioned, it's probably because BPM changes, you want to ramp yourself up to the faster BPM, and it makes sense.
The machine score on this was HINTZ with that flag just a few moments ago. But the EX score to beat in the event is still NoBarBen, 1387. No problem whatsoever on these pretty vanilla double patterns at the start. Upgrading the 8th notes to 16th note triplets, still no problem. Now syncopated patterns, and of course still no problem at all. Looking like a great play so far.
Great there.
Make some noise. That's what I'm talking about.
pretty strong so far here. See how he gets into those crossover parts coming up.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to tell, but this looks like it's been pretty strong MA, even compared to the others in this group. And MAing those crossovers there is a really good sign. Completely clean on those 5-note patterns. End of the song coming up.
Oh, things look good. But
4 EX off of NoBarBen for second place on that song.
I was gonna say that was really good timing.
All right, and Sakura Mirage scored a beat 1429. After how close he came on that one, could be interesting to see if he could take this on what has actually turned out to be basically the hardest chart in this set. Grabbing a quick water before starting this one. Yeah, the machine records. I mean, not that many, you know, double 15 players compared to single players in any part of the game.
Show me what you got.
Starting out clean and a little bit ahead of his pacemaker. Although this may well be another situation where he's probably going to blow past that score based on it being a little old. No problem with the jacks. A good pickup in one little crossover, but that doesn't seem to throw him much.
Yeah, a couple grades too, but I mean his MA is still looking very well.
Gallops go fine back into these back and forth crossovers that we've seen throughout this song. First on B1, then across the middle, then B2. Continuing with the tight MA. Dropping the hold while having to do the double step quarter notes is a little unfortunate. Alright, coming up to the busiest part of the song at the end. A lot of double taps here mixed into crossovers that go straight back and forth, the way a lot of songs like to taxi right at the end.
Yep.
No problem at all. It's going to be second place to NoBarBen again. A lot of pretty close songs in this pool, but nobody could quite catch him. So it'll be NoBarBen advancing out.
Yes.
Also, with the end of that pool, I am going to be taking a break, and Carrie will be here continuing on with you in doubles.
Yep. And I think I will be having someone else possibly replace me at some point. We will see. I know I kind of stepped in here as a relief for whoever was here earlier, so we'll have probably a commentary swap at some point.
Yeah. Yep. And all right, she'll be here in just a moment. And thank you all for watching and hanging out here. And we'll be going on with a few more doubles pools. Have fun.